beyond. Go beyond. Go beyond the game. Quick update, because turns out that I wasn't able to finish those videos before the ETC, so at the time posting them afterwards, I'm gonna be going through the videos for the prep for ETC, and then I'm planning to go through the videos on the what happened during the ETC my game. Some of them I got recorded fully, some of them there were technical difficulties that happened, so I'll do my best to recreate what happened during each game and who do we play. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dingus Hammer. I decided that in the limited time I'm gonna start with the series against Jello. So Empire. First round Mexico is playing Slovenia, so I decided that it would be good practice to play against this Slovenian Empire list. I rated it as originally as a green 13, well, yellow 12, green 13, somewhere around that, and decided to do some practice. So here is the deployment. This, of course, is the normal battle line. Secondary is hold the center. Jello deployed all out because I chose sides. I chose the hill for the cannons and charges of the hill and all that good things, all those good things. So here we are. And I have counter deployed over here. So outside of his shooting in the covers and everything, and I scouted and vanguarded my guys making the walls DT. And on the Jello's first turn, he decided to charge. Actually, maybe I should go with the list. So he has the knights, the flagellants, sword and shield guys, cannon. This is the wizard, I believe. This is the buff wagon that gives hater to Papa Mobile. 2 units of crossbows, unit of Imperial Guard with both his characters in there, militia, sword and board guys, and the tank. And for me, it's a cat. That's a catapult, the tribesman, cat, bombardiers, bruisers with full all of the characters, two cannons over here, one over here, one over there, catapult and bombardiers. So of course it was scrapping. So he charged on the first turn, and I was like, it's so far away. I think it was like 15 that he had. It's like, nah, he won't get it. He won't get it. He'll just fail. And then Jello goes like, yeah, well, 10. I'll get in. So in the process, he lost 5 guys because of the T's. He passed his leadership, and I'm like, all right, well, at least, yeah, there is no at least. I should be able to lose them all, so I'll still should have the chaff unit. I'll flee, I rally, I'll continue on, and so on. Or he'll pursue, and the tribesmen are gonna eat him alive. So on his turn, he just pushed forward everything. He won the combat. He decided not to pursue. He pivoted to defend the wall. He got the strength buff over here, and I fled like 3 inches. So well, maybe 4. And the unit survived. 40% strong, so not decimated. So I rallied them with the full leadership. He was able to shoot me with the steam tank. I should have angled the cannon slightly more. At the the way that he currently did it, he was able to go forward and shoot it. I mean, it's very hard to hide it. He could have still angled it, but I could have done it. I didn't do it. Over here, the cat was sitting nice and calm behind the hill, not to be shot off, and I was able to put my catapult slightly on the hill, move the bombardiers. Did I move the bombardiers actually? I think that's after my first turn. Yeah, his other cannon misfired. His shooting didn't do anything because I was so far away. Besides being able to put wounds on the cannon, and on my turn, I was able to get bubble flaming swords. I put a catapult shot to his crossbows, and I shot with both cannons. One cannon to his steam tank, missed. I put a bombardier shot because of +1 to wound on there. He armor saved bunch, so I did well, not much, but I did 1 wound through between the bombardiers and the big block, I think. The other cannon was trying to shoot, I think, one of his Pommobils, or yeah, I think it was no, I think it was a Pommobile, yes, and it did missed. And then catapult shot turn around to protect this side and shot at the cavalry over here, trying to panic them, trying to get some wounds to be for them to be manageable. Maybe get below the 5 guys. It missed. So I didn't do as much as I hoped I would do, and I think that in the retrospect, this shooting at the crossbows was a mistake. I should have probably shot at this point already into the Imperial Guard because it was in the close range. I was like, well, I'll sit around over here, have him come over. Next turn, I'll also the guard. But since he's rushing me, probably it was better idea to shoot them, especially those crossbows. They can be scary. They can take the bombardiers out. They can chip wounds or finish off things. But oh well. The scraplings rallied, and here we are on the next turn. He charged his swordsman over here. On the scraplings, I fled, and I didn't flee enough. I stopped an inch before, and I was like, well, I'm gonna he pursued them, I think, or he redirected into the tribesmen. Just to make sure. And I think he pursued the unit. He very much liked the idea that I'm chaffing at this point. I'm chaffing myself up. So, oops, that was definitely a mistake. I should have stand. He charges. I stand, and he can do whatever he wants to. Instead, I've chosen to flee because I was like, I'll flee over here somewhere, he'll catch me, and then it'll be farther away from these guys. So he'll have to march these guys up. I'll charge, kill this unit, or they'll flee, and I'll chaff them the flagellants with the cat. But it didn't play out like that, and it bit me in the ass hard. So here we are. He pushed the tank forward, pushed the cav forward. He wanted to charge the cat, but he couldn't because if you see over here, the cat has the cavalry in the flank, and if he touches the flank, he can close doors to me. And even though he tries, I can close the doors to him because the cat bumps into the house. That's a trick you can always play around when there are impassibles involved. Even though he can see it's a flank, he cannot. It's an impassable charge. And impassable charge due to the terrain, not due to the unit. That's also a very important one because there are rules governing that as well. Alright, so here we are. He pushed forward. And he was going with his magic and everyone shooting for this cannon. He basically wanted to really get this one of the cannons off from the board, not to threaten his tank or other things. And in his magic and shooting phase, he got his magic thing. He got a couple of wounds on the bruisers, a wound on the catapult. His steam tank misfired and broke down, and that was it. He didn't get that much done. And this was a very interesting thing because right now the steam tank is in my face, and I cannot back off. I can chaff it with the bombardiers, right? And I can try to shoot it down with one cannon, but it's not gonna happen. Maximum I can do 5 wounds. No, 4 wounds because it's not. What I say? 4 wounds because it's not flying. So no matter what I do, if I do max wounds from the cannon, he'll be at 5 wounds, and I have to do 2 more wounds between the magic and the shooting, and that's just not gonna happen. And we're talking about lucking out that I'll get this shot. So I would have to chaff him with the bombardiers, and instead of that I saw that it's a flank charge. And I decided to take it. Here it is. And there's a little problem with what happened over here. And the problem is I can't fit all of the guys to be attacking the tank because of the wheeling and attaching. I can only get 3 guys. That's fine because I got the lore of these 3 wounds, I got a bunch of bruises of great weapons, I got a can of strength 5, I got magic support, which I got flaming swords of. He tried to stop it. I throw I think 5 dice to get it. So yeah. And here we are. The Scraplings actually rallied on their own leadership. At this point, I think I didn't even want them to rally, and then actually rallied. So they chaffed me again. And this sucks with the bruiser block because I cannot chaff now those guys. I cannot wield the bombardiers over here. I cannot get with those bombardiers over here. So I'm like, shit, I need to kill this tank, which is fine. It should happen. And I'll turn around and I'll face front to everything over here. But I didn't quite want to fight those Imperial Guard at this moment, so that sucks. It sucks also that I'm trapped over here, that making it very easy for Jolo that this unit is out of the commission. He only has to be worried about that. My catapult misfires, my cannon doesn't do anything, the other cannon doesn't do anything, and my second catapult misses again both shots. So we go into combat. I do 1 wound from the impact hits. I hit him with my lord, and he is strength 7 plus on to wound, so I wound the tank on 2. He's AP 4, and Jolo armor saves like a boss. On his 5-ups, saves on the lord's attacks. He saves the BSB attacks. He saves the wizard attacks, and then he fails to save bunch of wounds from bruisers. But I'm in the giant pickle at this point because I had to finish the tank. And like I having +1 to wound, impact hits, and these 3 wounds and all that, like that was a sure thing for me that I'll kill this tank. A bunch of great open attacks, like no, you're not. So here we are. I chuffed his cavalry. I chuffed it so that if he charges the cat and overruns or anything, I have a catapult countercharge. So Jolo charges my bombardiers. I flee because at this point I'm hoping that the only saving grace is that those militias will chaff himself, will chaff Jolo. So he charges, I flee. He charges the catapult, I flee also. And here is the pivotal moment. He makes it enough for the militia to go forward through. So he charges the cat, he charges the other cat, he moves forward his sword and board guys. I think I shot them with the bombardiers, that's why there's a little less of them. And he charges the Imperial Guard in my rear, and he charges the other in the flank. I pivoted like I reformed like that just to give minimum amount of these guys coming in and just bunch of regions basically. Oh, I also had to go like that because the militia was seeing me over here and I couldn't flee with the bruiser, so that was my ditch attempt to try to make him chaff himself. Both wagons are full HP, and this is not looking great for me. So he kills the whole unit. I kill this tank. I do a couple of wounds to his one of his characters. I think he's general, but that's not enough. He breaks me, and he decides to chase from the sword and board guys, and I flee. Even though I don't have any more the Strider banner, I am able to flee. He pursues with both units. He doesn't catch. He stops before the militia. And he moves the sword and board guys to chaff me, help my chaff myself. The combat with he kills the chaff over here with the flagellants, and in the cat versus the cavalry we don't do any wounds to each other, and the cat flees and he decides not to pursue. So in my turn I'm like I have to do something. I can't get outside of his line of sight. I checked it, so I decided to charge his cavalry. I mean, he's not set in 5, so he doesn't have steadfast. If I have a charge. If I can do a wound or two, I should be able to win the combat and pursue him maybe. That would give me a nice catapult on the flank and get rid of this cavalry. Very annoying cavalry. So here we are, and at this point I'm looking like, okay, I'm dead, but I still have those tribesmen. I still can do something with it. So here is my plan. I also charge the so I charge the bombardiers, I charge the chaff, and the chaff will overrun into flagellants or move far enough for it to be annoying. And the bombardiers should be able to turn around and shoot over here or something. No, yeah, turn around and either chaff again or shoot over here, like deal with it, right? I moved my tribesmen to the flank. I rallied everything, so I'm trying to get some magic off, and I got the cascading fire on the Imperial Guard, but that's about it that I got from the magic. Shooting doesn't do much. Think I tried to get Scorching Salvo. There I fell. He stopped. I don't remember what happened over here to be exact, but here is the combat. Between the impact hits and the attacks, I kill 4 guys. He kills 1, and he passes his steadfast. It's like, okay, well, that's not fun. That's not fun, but it'll be alright. So it'll be alright. I decided to reform like that to make sure that if shit happens, he can't charge me over here with the flagellants, and then I'll be breaking his steadfast also. So that sucked, but it also sucked over here that I charged the catapult in and he got the wound off, and so we stuck. I didn't do anything to him. He armored between the armor saves or me whiffing to hit or to wound. I am now in the very bad position. So I rallied everything right. I got my magic off and all that. Didn't do much, but at least he's still chuffing himself with the militia. I got a couple of wounds. Oh yes, I did get Scorching Salvo. I got a couple of wounds over here on the prelate, and here we are. And on Jolo's turn, he puts 2 wounds now on my scaffold, meaning he's wounding me on 6s. I have a 4 up, and I don't do again anything to him. It's just like, okay, I have AP0, AP2, so that's not super surprising, especially since now I don't have impact hits. And he breaks me. Also, over here in the combat, this unit survives. This unit survives the combat between the stomps, attacks. It's like there is no way that this unit can survive. Right now it killed this. That's 1 wound here. That's 1 wound there. I do 2 wounds to him, and the sword, basic sword infantry, survives again, and it's again not great for me. So this game at this point is looking very grim. I get a Scorching Salvo off. Do I get a Scorching Salvo? Or attempt to get a Scorching Salvo. I think it's attempt to get a Scorching Salvo. He stops it, so I am able to pivot the combat over here. I try to get some magic off, I think, on the Imperial Guard. Yeah, I got some on the Imperial Guard magic off, and that's it. So I pivot again to chaff the flagellants. He chases off the catapult. The chaff runs away, and on his turn, he gets charge over here to kill the bombardiers. He gets this long charge towards those bombardiers, so he can have another unit on my back. And he gets a charge from the pop mobile against the cannon. And at this point, I'm looking at the game, and I decided that I can try some things out. I can try like march these guys over here because I can march character by character by character 12 inches and still sit over here. But at this point, I'm looking at it and decided that the game is lost. He gets a secondary. There is nothing I could do about it at this point. It's way too late. He has a unit behind me. He has a unit in front of me. He has another unit behind him. He just wipes out the whole back. And the tribesmen will not win. Are not likely to win against Flagellants. And even if I win against the Flagellants, they're going to be heavily bruised, and he'll be able to kill them off between the magic and shooting, and I'll be the one that loses points. So at this point, I decided to concede the battle. So that was the first game against the green matchup Empire. I think that one of the bigger things that screwed me over were, well, actually the whole game didn't do anything. I got one shot of from the catapults between the whole game, and the cannons didn't do anything neither. Magic was very ineffective. I decided to change my spell selection also for the next tribe because I decided that I need to play this list again because I did things wrong. Things could have been prevented. There was the flee. The reaction was actually my own mistake, and the steam tank should have died. It didn't die, but yeah, some unlucky, some bad decision making. So I also didn't like being on the top of this map. Between the two impossibles and like both cannons weren't able to target at neither point the same target. It was hard to get my bubble flaming swords through multiple times to get a lot of units, and I just couldn't utilize all the advantages. So thanks for watching, subscribe and all that, and I'll see you on the next battle report. Peace.